When are you ready to go?
Well, good morning, viewers. I sound like Paul Hogan, but welcome to the second session of the 45th Andrews-Atkins Shield being played at the Launceston Workers Club in Tasmania. Victoria taken an overnight lead of 5 matches to 2. The 25 matches played here this weekend, and on table 4, and I'm watching this on a TV, I can see the players in the distance, and from Tasmania, Alex Pace is at the table, and he's playing rising star Marc Fridman from Victoria. It's a best of 5 frames match. So Alex has made a bright start. In the top billiard room there are 3 matches underway. And Salty's just doing a few sound checks for me, so if anybody's logged on or online, if you can just send me a text message and just let me know that the audio is coming through okay. This match is the 45th between Victoria and Tasmania. Victoria hold a commanding lead. They've won 38 matches to Tasmania's 6 over the 45-year history. But having said that, there's been a number of extremely close battles in years gone by. Tasmania faces a little bit of an uphill task because Victoria dominated the session last night. There was a classic match between Phil Woodham and Daryl Tippett. Phil Woodham from Tasmania and Daryl from Victoria. That was 3-2, decided by a re-spotted black ball. Tremendous match. Unfortunately, there had to be a loser. Unfortunately, Mark's made a foul there, so ball in hand and a few exposed reds. You think that Alex, who's the reigning under-18 junior snooker champion, could probably do a little bit of damage early here in this first frame. For this year's event, we welcome on board some new sponsors in LBC Consulting and Auditing, which is Rex Wayne, a name familiar to many around Australia, Rex being the Tasmanian president, and also a member on the executive of Australian Billiards and Snooker Council. Cloney on Elizabeth, which is where all the players and officials are staying. Of course, the Launceston Workers Club, who always support all the billiards events, snooker events in Tasmania. We've got the Tassie Association, the Italian Pizza House with Heath Watson, and JS Designs, which are Bob and Jenny Steele, makers of custom-made bow ties. So got a few people on. And of course, brothers David, Les and myself who've chipped in to hopefully make this tournament a great success. Refereeing at the moment is Adrian White, one of our most experienced referees in Tasmania, and he's accompanied by Gary Elliott. He's sitting in a distance on that stool on the scoreboard. As I said, if you've just tuned in, you're watching the 45th Victoria versus Tasmania match, the Harry Andrews-Atkins Shield. A time-honoured event, in fact, one of the longest continuous Q team sports event in Australia, now in its 45th year. And I know that when the 50th event is going to be played, it's going to be held in Victoria. We played a match out of turn here a few years ago so that the Victorians came to Tassie a couple of times in a row so that they could get what we call a marquee match, centenary match. Tassie seemed to have great success on the 10th, 20th, 30th and 40th, so I think the Vics want to break that hoodoo, and so the 50th event will be held in Victoria, probably either at the Brunswick Club or the RACV. This live stream event is brought to you by Q Sports Tasmania, and of course can't understate the work that Andrew Saltmarsh does for both billiards and snooker and 8-ball in Tasmania. Gives you the opportunity to sit back at home and watch the live stream of this event. So Alex has raced out to an early lead, 19 points, looks to be queuing pretty fluently. This is the first time I've personally seen Mark in action, but he's already building an impressive record. Equally so, Alex, with his sorties to the world, under 21 snooker and the like, is obviously one of Australia's brightest prospects, and he's a Tasmanian, so ticks all the boxes. During today's live streaming, you get the opportunity of seeing in the afternoon session another 2 matches on this particular table. The next match, once Alex and Mark complete, will be Denny Main going in against Charlie Chafe from Victoria, and then that will be followed by the Tasmanian snooker champion in Cale Barrett, who goes in against Ryan Thomason, who's been overseas, staying with Neil Robertson, and he actually flew back a little bit earlier so he could be selected in the Victorian team. So a lot of the players hold this event in high stead. As I said, the 45th year it's being played. And the matches completed so far overnight. Anna Lynch from Victoria defeated Tasmanian women's snooker champion Sue Martin 3 frames to 1. In an epic battle, Daryl Tippett from Victoria got over Phil Woodham 3 frames to 2 on a re-spotted black. Seasoned and talented campaigner Paul Thomason defeated Tassie captain Bob Boucher 3-0. And Rod Dunham, former Tasmanian, got over the top of Luke Webb in the last match last night to win 3 frames to 1. On the billiards side of the draw, Jason Colebrook was a little bit too strong for Grenville Brown from Tasmania. Meanwhile, Graham Pickett squared the ledger in the billiards, getting over the top of David Cosgriff. And in the last billiards match played last night in a cliffhanger, Steve Cowie prevailed by 3 points over Victorian President Ron Cole. That match could have gone either way in the last couple of minutes. So if there's anybody out there in cyberspace that might have been tuned into this live telecast, if you could just send me a text message to say that we're coming through loud and clear, would be greatly appreciated. Just wander up so I can have a look at the table. Somebody's doing a bit of running repairs on my TV screen, so I can't actually see most of it at the moment. As I said, Alex has dashed out to a handy lead early. Snooker matches are played over the best of 5 frames. Meanwhile, the billiards are contested over 60 minutes. Under this new format, which is in its 3rd year, players play multiple opponents. So if you're listed at number 1 in the snooker team, for instance, you get to play the number 1 and number 2 player from the other team. Whilst in the billiards, they're comprised of 3 players, and each one of those players play each other over 1 hour. So the billiards guys end up with play a total of 9 matches. I'll just wander back in the vicinity of the table so I can get a better look at, oh no, Salty's freed up my TV screen, so I'll go back and have a look at that now. Where I'm actually situated, the billiard table is in the distance, but I've got this magnificent large TV, so I'm able to probably get a better bird's eye view in many respects of what you're seeing at home. So early going, and Marc is under a little bit of pressure. There's plenty of reds on the table, obviously. 75 points available, so 36-0 is probably nothing really in the scheme of things at this early stage. Marc probably just needs to get a couple of balls in to get his confidence going. Might have a slight opportunity here, albeit the white is a little bit awkward. Looks to be plenty of queuing room between that yellow and the green. Suspect he'll draw back, try and play for one of these ball colours. In fact, he might actually be giving him a shot on the brown, but he may have to use the rest, which is probably his non-preferred option. Having a look around, probably considered that blue momentarily, but he's now on the brown. Looking to play through, come off the top rail, try and see if we can come back. That red ball around the middle was looking a little inviting, and even the one near the green. Played it a little bit cautiously, unless that red will go past the green. And my camera angle suggests that's not the case, because he's now looking at some of the other reds further down. Nice shot, didn't quite make the back rail, so he's erred on the side of caution there. It's a bit of a 50-50 shot for Alex. He's having a good look at it. Bit of an opportunity now for Marc. Can roll this one in. It suggests that the black is probably the go, and the backup is the blue if he overhits it. And of course you've got that red kind of in the black spot vicinity, so he's got the opportunity of probably closing this bit of a lead that Alex has established. Nice shot, should give him the opportunity to get up for that red around the middle there. Quite played it a little bit firmly, but still got a nice shot on it. So Marc's starting to find his groove, early stages. As I said, best of 5 frames match. You'll see that red number in the middle, indicating the number of frames that we need to play. And if you've joined the live stream, you're watching the 45th Harry Andrews-Atkins Shield being played at the Launceston Workers Club in Tasmania. Victoria took an overnight lead, winning 5 matches to 2, but the actual tournament is decided on a scoring system, so each snooker match win is worth 3 points, whereas the billiards is worth 2, as the billiard guys get to play 3 matches as opposed to snooker players who only play 2 matches. So it is mathematically possible to win 13 matches to 12 but lose on points. It's all centred around a 66-point pool. Played 25 matches, 9 of those being billiards, and the other 16 snooker. Get Denny Main, who was playing later today, and probably in the next match to come over and have a bit of a chat to me. So I'm feeling a bit lonely here all by myself. So just as say we've joined the telecast, I've just I spotted Denny Main up in the distance, long time friend, and of course one of our top competitors in Tassie. He's just going to join me in commentary. I was feeling a bit lonely there for a while, Denny, and I saw you sipping on a coffee, and I thought that's just not right.
Good morning, Rob. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Of course, Denny, we're watching the 45th Harry Andrews, Ron Atkins Shield, which is a Victoria versus Tasmania match. One of the oldest in Australia, continuous teams, Q Sports. So you're up next.
Yes, that's correct.
On this particular table. So even though we lost, or we trailed 5 matches to 2 after last night, it's still pretty open, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, you don't want to blow it all at once.
No,
exactly. Just going to make a match of it.
Yeah.
So we'll come home strong today.
We're hanging back.
Yeah,
Got some late money, late mail.
Yeah, slow and steady.
So if anybody's tuned in to the live stream, if you can just send us a quick text message, let us know if we're coming through okay. Having said that, it's quite early on a Saturday morning, so we expect probably the viewers will jump online when you're playing, Denny.
Yeah, or if not, you can watch it from in your bed.
Yep.
Or feel free to bring us another coffee.
As you can see, this frame is now evenly poised. Alex enjoyed a pretty healthy lead, but Marc's just starting to find a little bit of his mojo. So Alex leads 44-29. This
Great
is the
shot
best.
there.
Oh, he's a ripper, and he's giving himself an opportunity of laying a dead weight snooker here.
You've come off just the one rail here, or I think the brown's blocking maybe blocking the 2 rail.
His natural angle, so he might touch the side. Suggest he's playing foul.
Not by much.
A little bit much, but foul and miss, quite correct call. Alex Pace, of course, the reigning Australian under-18 junior champion. He and Carl Barrett, Tasmanian snooker champion, went to the world under-21 snooker in Belgium last year. I suspect now he's had a sighter. I'd expect him to hit this one.
He might come past it again, Rob.
Yeah, he's been a bit unlucky again.
Quite whether he's going to aim to hit the ball full on or he's trying to hit it off the cush. Probably best to try and hit it full back into the cush.
Yeah.
Try and tighten it back up again, or if not, he's going to open it straight back up.
Yeah.
To,
I think you're right, Denny. Just in case you're wondering, this is one of 4.
Shot.
He's hit that. Good hit, but he's exposed the red. This is one of 4 matches that are currently in progress on the billiard table upstairs. Steve Cowie from Tasmania is playing Jason Colebrook, of course one of Australia's most experienced billiard players. That match is over 1 hour. Sue Martin and Anna Lynch are playing the second of the women's matches. Anna was successful in her first match last night, 3 frames to 1. And meanwhile, Jared Wicks, one of your sparring colleagues on North West Coast, is playing Brendan Taylor from Victoria. So we've got a little bit of activity.
We might have to get a couple of runners there, Rob, to see if we can get a bit of a score update on those. On those matches.
Yeah,
absolutely. To post through. It's an unlucky draw there for Alex. That's opened that one right there for Marc. It's play probably for the brown back in the middle, I imagine.
So he might give us a side view, just so we can kind of see what Marc's doing. So he's perched over the top of a ball.
Oh, he went for the safety.
He's gone for safety. Just in case you're wondering, we, Denny and I, are both standing in the background. The billiard table's in the foreground, some 30-40 feet away, and we're watching a quite impressive TV. So we're seeing it pretty much in real time.
Great shot there by Alex.
Huge shot. Has he been lucky or unlucky with that pink hard angle here to spot here?
Tried to have a look on the side view, but I think he may be blocked with the blue.
Blue, yeah.
So I imagine a safety will be coming up here for the where the yellow's positioned.
Yeah. Interestingly, we can't quite see the black because of the overshot that we've got in our TV. It looks like a snooker from here. The white, as I said, the view that Denny and I have got. We've just got the scoring mechanism which is just perched above.
Ooh. Well,
Lucky.
fairly missed, but it was a good shot. If you were doing exhibition matches.
Yeah. And of course, he's got a free ball scenario, so Alex deciding what he's going to do. He's asking for it to be replaced. So he's elected not to take the pound on this. The shot's probably good enough anyway. I think he probably figured that Marc probably hit it next time around and might have got a bit busy up there and he might have jagged the snooker back.
Yeah, he probably could have considering the shot he had, he probably could have ended up a lot tighter to the blue box. I think you can actually see probably an 8 to the ball there. Oh, didn't pick that.
So it's not our eyes only. The young guys are going a lot better than that.
That's opened everything right up here for Alex.
Yep.
No, the yellow's not in a great spot.
No, I don't know, Denny, if it was me or you. I'm inclined to have him replaced, which he's done. So he's testing the young fellas out. I was out early this morning, and Tassie champion Carl Barrett's just drifted into view.
And he's knocked out
our TV. So I think Salty's fiddling around with some wires. So we've just been killed off. We're not blaming you, Carl.
I would.
And of course, we're going to see Carl in action probably 1:45 or 1 o'clock, and he'll be going in against Ryan Thomason, who's winged his way back from overseas. We've been staying with Neil Robinson just to come back to play Carl in this 45th Andrews-Atkins Shield.
Just trying to set the ball up as close to the yellow. He never moved, so unless he bumped it.
When he's been replacing it, yeah, you're right, because there was really only one ball to set.
Yeah. They're not far off there.
Yeah.
Shame we don't have in years to come we'll have the technology
to do the replays.
To do the spot on replays.
Well, in fact, Salty has got that there, but of course we wouldn't glean anything out of the angle, just where the balls are situated, because the top camera wouldn't have actually picked it up. But you're right, the yellow never moved, so it was really only the green. So, and of course, the referee disturbs it, then he's obviously needs to replace both.
I think he's got it pretty darn close there.
Yeah. In our opinion, he could always wing it, but he'll come up the back this time. I think he's already had enough of that first one. Played it pretty well and got out of it. So the frame's still very much live, 55 to 38. This is the first frame of a best of 5 frames match, featuring Australian junior champion Alex Pace from Tasmania going against rising Q in Marc Fridman. I suspect that ball's on.
Yellow.
Yep,
Just a quick glance over there, and yellow does go, so this is going to...
so you can see the low shot.
Crucial pot here.
Didn't quite stun down enough, I don't think, so we get to the other shot. I think it might be a bit square from this angle. Still got a shot at it. So delicately poised. I'm predicting pretty much close to a black ball finish, because Marc seems to have found his mojo after Alex enjoyed a pretty healthy lead early on. All balls are gettable, exception of the black, depending on where you lie. Played it pretty well. whatever you're on the table and you've got an opportunity at a shot, then you're still in the driver's seat.
That's exactly right. The opponent can't do anything sitting at
sitting
his
there
chair.
watching it. Overhit that a bit. I did watch him practicing yesterday afternoon with his dad, Phil, and he was potting some nice balls. Marc, this is.
So a little tricky over the black. Just control the white ball, but he's done that well with the brown.
Yeah, got to be pretty happy with that.
Whether he may go for a off the brown, leave the white up near the black ball, bring the brown down the table.
I don't think we'll be seeing any big doubles like Darryl Tippett and Phil Woodham last night. It was 2 frames all and a re-spotted black, and Phil Woodham was sitting in the bat and sort of seen enough of this and tried to double it in. And
yeah, I think the black spent the first part off the cushion in the air past the pink spot.
That's pretty, but that's pretty well. Oh.
Should hand his head around after that shot. That's a great little shot.
Yeah. Reminds me of the old cocked hat by accident that he's played there. But he's going to take it. Scoreboard says so anyway.
That's in the rules. This will be frame ball here.
Yeah.
Yeah, good shot. Snooker's required for Marc, so
the pressure valve's been released somewhat, particularly where the black is.
And always getting the first frame on the board's always good in matches like this in best of 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gets that little bit of a monkey off your back. And
You're worth a free hit here.
Just running
double.
Yeah, I was thinking the 8 ball in Alex. I'm surprised he didn't crack in the double there.
Yeah. I was thinking that myself. They always say double for trouble, but he was double for nothing there.
Yeah. It was not going to be too bad.
So how you been hitting them, Denny?
Like me, I'm a patchy player, so I can hit them good one day and then terrible the next.
Yeah.
But no, I'm going to love it out here. It's always great to catch up with the Victorian blokes. Great bunch of guys. The tournament's great. It's just a great way to catch up with someone and a lot of guys from a different area and talk about the sport we love and have a weekend at it on the table. It's good.
Yeah,
can't get much better. And representing your state, of course, is always a
so
good
the VICs have been coming over on the Thursday, even though the tournament doesn't start until Friday. Their tournament starts on Thursday afternoon, and I think they did some bad things to our ex-Tasmanian Rod Dunham. He was.
Our beer's better over here. That's the reason why they come over early.
So Alex Pace from Tasmania takes the first frame against Victoria's Marc Fridman. Best of 5 frames match. You're watching a live stream of the 45th Andrews-Atkins Shield coming out of Launceston Workers Club in Tasmania, and joining me in commentary is Denny Main, one of Tasmania's top cuers, who's up next on this particular table. There are 3 other matches in progress, and we'll get some updated scores shortly. So Denny's going to slip up and grab those for me, and we'll be back with you shortly. As you can see on the screen, we've got a few sponsors this year. LBC Consulting and Auditing, which is Rex Swain, Colonial on Elizabeth, the Tassie Association, obviously, Launceston Workers Club, obviously a great venue where we play matches around Tasmania, Northern Tas Billiards at Snooker, of course the Higgins boys, including myself, brother Les and Dave, Heath Watson with Italian Pizza House, and they fed us a treat last night. And one of our new sponsors, JS Designs, which is Bob and Jenny Steele. We hope to see them at some stage over the weekend. So we're into the action in the second frame. Alex is taking the first frame in a best of 5 frames match. And meanwhile, we'll get you some progress scores on the other 2 matches which are under progress, which is the billiards match between Jason Colebrook and Steve Cowie from Tasmania. Anna Lynch and Sue Martin are playing the second women's match. So Denny's just slipped back when he's with a wealth of information, we hope. Or probably no action at all.
I'm going to try and remember everything now, Rob. By the looks of it, Brendan Taylor's 1-0 up on Jared Weeks. Sue Martin looks to be almost 1-0 up on Anna Lynch. And I think Steve Cowie's about 60 down in the billiards. Roughly. That was in a quick 100 mile an hour. Try not to interrupt him and run through the billiard room.
You've done well, Mark. And we had a real treat last night when Ron Atkins and his wife Leanne were in attendance for the formal introductions and presentation of the players. Ron Atkins, of course, needs no introduction in Australia, a legend of the game, OAM, been there, done that, been president of Australian Council, and it was sensational to be along last night, of course. The Shield is named in honour of Harry Andrews from Victoria, who unfortunately couldn't make it over, but it was great to see Ron here last night. So that's a foul on the miss. Suggest Alex will play, providing this is not too square.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have a look at the side view, but I can't see it there.
Yeah.
He looks fairly good there. He should be able to snake through past underneath that red and... oh no.
Well, it's an interesting shot, unless it was a little bit off. I thought he might have run through for the black, but...
maybe a bit square.
That's why I'm a commentator and he's a player, I guess.
Yeah, that's always easier from this side of the table though, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Mark's just starting to settle into his groove. He was well behind in that first frame and rallied late, and of course there was nothing in it in the finish. Ran into a little bit of foul and missed trouble. So I suspect there's a lot to go in this particular match at the moment. Of course, Alex is the reigning Australian under-18 junior champion, but I did see Mark hitting up with his dad yesterday afternoon and potted some good balls. First time I'd seen him live, but he's obviously a curist on the rise with a lot of talent. Kind of a Charlie Chafe haircut lookalike, like he was a little while ago.
Yes, Charlie, it wouldn't be as awesome as his haircut.
Yeah.
It's taking the long read here by the looks of it. Thin safety for Alex. I know he's gone the aggressive safety. And we can't see, but I think that's sat in the jaws. Yep, white sat in the jaws there. Very lucky shot there for Alex.
Just in case you're listening to us and we're not probably describing it, we've got just the way the TV that we're watching, the actual scoring system is kind of just ghosted over the top of where the black spot would normally be. So we sometimes have to look at the table for a live view.
Good safety shot there.
Yeah, he's played it very well actually. This red pokes it here, but even then it's a long risky shot.
No, and Alex, he'll take this on.
Yeah, I suspect you're right, Denny.
Oof.
So anybody that's watching the live stream, if you could send us, flick us a quick text message just to let us know you're coming through loud and clear. Bearing in mind it is early on Saturday morning and we've got a couple of other live stream matches to come a little bit later on, featuring a couple of Australia's top players. And in any event, if you're not watching it live, of course it'll be on YouTube. We can watch it later in perpetuity.
Thanks to Saldi, the legend of Q Sport TAS.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the hard work he put in last night setting this up. I didn't realise how long it actually takes. I mean, we've seen it at the state final. It was a bit of a quick fire thing, but last night there's a lot of chords that I would happily trip over. That's why I'm staying well away from that. Yeah. Just to set up, just to get what we have nowadays. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. just in the foreground there you can see Gary Elliott, who's the newly elected Northern TAS Billiards and Snooker president. He's refereeing this second frame. Pretty sure he said to me that he hasn't got his referee's ticket, which is quite amazing really, because Gary is a very, very good referee. As is often happens, some of our best referees are also the players, so we ideally like to be able to use them, but of course when they're playing you can't do both. You'd like to, and some of us are getting a little bit long in the tooth, like Terry Collins and myself, and we need a few younger guys coming through the systems.
Like in any sport, we need it all needs referees. You know, someone to control the game, whether it's snooker, 8-ball, netball, you name it.
Yeah.
We all the referees are unsung heroes of most sports. Don't probably get the recognition they really deserve for all the help they do. And plus, getting the players to umpires cheaper.
Yeah, yeah. Mind you, the referees, they usually round our salary off. I mean that literally, rounded right off. Nice positive shot there by Alex. So he's got an opportunity here because there are a couple of exposed reds, particularly when you've got the blue and the pink floating around the way they are, and obviously the black's free.
You'll free up the pink spot here too, just with potting this red.
Yeah.
So. Oh, I would.
He'd be very, very disappointed with that shot.
It's better just to stun through with that, clean up the pink.
Yeah.
Or play the blue and have those two reds.
He might have been heading, but
yeah.
So he's still not out of this. Obviously, cut the pink in the middle and run the gauntlet of. It's always the danger of getting the kiss, but he might be lucky. He's trying to get up. Looks like it's just going to perch on top of that red, though.
As with snooker, when you slowly start to get out of position, it takes an extremely good shot to get back into position.
Yep.
It's a bit hard there.
Very, very firmly stroked, but he's going to be lucky. He's going to be over on the rail and awkward for Mark. So similar pattern developing in the second frame of the best of 5 frames match, where Alex has dashed out to not a sizable lead, but he's made the running earlier on. Of course, in the last frame, Mark rallied, got back late, and a few foul misses kind of influenced the scoreboard, and Alex finished off nicely. I won't tell you what Dana was just doing that. With nothing rude. And
you'll see it soon enough, Rob.
We've just been dwarfed in the background by Luke Webb, who's obviously playing for Tasmania here this weekend. He's in a close contest last night with former Tasmanian in Rod Dunham. And Rod was able to get up 3-1, and when we all thought it was heading for 2-all, it was quite a late hour actually, because we had a few longish, slow matches last night. So, but we were watching with great intrigue Luke playing, and under this format, because now you get 2 matches instead of the traditional one we used to play many years ago. Luke's got another crack at it, so I'm sure he'll be fired up and ready to get Tassie back on the board. Bearing in mind that Tassie trailed 5 matches to 2 after last night's session. But this particular tournament's based on a scoring point system, so we're not out of it. But if we can grab some of these early matches, then obviously we're back in the running.
Yeah, put the pressure back on the VICs a little bit.
Yeah.
A little shot there.
And ideally under this, and in fact under this new format, the tournament's pretty much kind of alive on the Saturday night, unless Victoria whitewashes this afternoon. But
which you don't want to see that happen at all.
No. Yeah, under the old format where we used to play just 11 matches, it was possible heading into the final session, which was only ever 3 matches on the Saturday night, that one area was generally beaten, and it tended to be the Tassies, as the Victoria enjoy a healthy 38-6 record in the 44 years it's been played. Of course, this is the 45th year.
Alex Pace with a great long shot down the rail down there, and he's pretty much balls up that safety after that cracking long red. Double underneath the red yellow. Got the kiss. This might
trying to find its way across to the yellow.
Both Alex and Mark have had opportunities in this frame, but just getting themselves a bit out of position. Here's Alex on another. Wasn't far off the money at all there.
That's why he doesn't die wondering, Alex. He's not frightened to have a crack at something, and seems to have got out of that one all right, obviously. But it's given Mark an opportunity to play the snooker up to time those two ball colours, but he's played it too full. It'd be a little bit thinner to try and find its way up behind that yellow there somewhere.
I'd say Alex may be able to get in between those two reds near the pink spot and cut the red into the bottom right-hand corner.
Yep.
Oh no, he went that way. That was a great shot there.
Unlucky with the kisses. He's put a sort of reverse pressure on here. He's the colour, because as you can see on the right-hand side, there's a red perched up over the hole, so it's a head start for the next player. So looking to bang this in, which he hasn't done. Unfortunately, the pink is probably going to go. I thought it was going to go safe, but
Black's opening up here, so it's a good chance here for
Mark. He used to
Mark.
be able to just hold this, provided he was going to hit it way too firmly, unless that was his intention to play for the green, which I find a bit odd. But anyway,
they do that on purpose, just
in case.
Spite us.
Yes, yeah. Yes, we've been caught out a few times with this live commentary where we've called something and they played something totally inane. And yeah. In case you've joined the telecast, you're watching the 45th Harry Andrews-Atkins Shield match, which is an annual match between Victoria and Tasmania, the oldest continuous teams sports event in Australia. Well, second to the railway tournament actually, which is in its 51st year as I understand, which is the railway or ANI Institute match. Still nothing in this frame, and the frame has tended to be a little bit of a scrappy sort of affair at the moment. This is a bit curious because both players are quite good free flowing potters, so we're hoping it's not the pressure of the TV, and because Alex a little bit unlucky there. He's found the in off, but there's obviously no damage, no reds exposed, so just weighing up his options here. An option to pass the stroke even, but I suspect not. Try and play some sort of safety, but I guess in many respects it is safe. So
he has passed the shot. That's interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of semi-tipping that. I'm just Yep.
Alex almost getting up towards the yellow spot there. Well, it looks like he's left the pot on for the red. No easy shot.
Live stream now, so I'll keep my eye out for you. Alright.
Left marker. Maybe have a crack at this red into the middle.
I'm just back online. I was just talking to Leanne Atkins, a lovely wife of Ron, and they're not too far away from heading to the venue, and we're getting the local media to turn up and take a couple of pics, which will be great.
through them quite nicely. It's fortunate or unfortunate there. He's still got a good shot at the black. Should be able to either hit the balls again or hold for the next spread. Oh, unlucky again. Alex there.
Just my headset, which I have now, Denny. I've just about lost everything. My little power pack fell to the floor and almost dragged me down.
Alex will be going for I believe, a safety here. Unlucky kiss on the pink. Or he may actually have a shot. Ooh, did have a shot on there.
So just in case you've joined us, you're in commentary. It's Rob Higgins and Danny Main, two Tasmanians. Of course, Danny, one of our top snooker players in Tasmania. And I can't make any claim to fame there, but pretty much administrator / referee / dog's body / commentator this weekend. So we're watching the first of 5 live stream matches today. Of course, there'll be a couple more in this afternoon session. Denny, in fact, will be playing in that particular match. You're watching the 45th Harry Andrews-Atkins Shield being played at the Launceston Workmen's Club in Tasmania. Victoria hold a 38-6 record over Tasmania, and optimistically we're looking to probably get one of those back, but last night's 7 matches didn't do us any favour as we trailed 5 matches to 2 overnight. But Alex, with a 1-frame-to-0 lead here, is started pretty brightly, and as the Australian under-18 snooker champion, I suspect he might be a slight favourite against Marc, who's one of the rising stars in the junior ranks of court. So there's still a long way to go in this particular match. There are 3 other matches in progress. There's a billiards match between Jason Colebrook from Victoria and Steve Cowie from Tasmania. Anna Lynch, who won her first women's match against our Tasmanian ladies champion in Sue Martin. They're currently doing battle as well. And meanwhile, Jared Wicks from Tasmania is playing Brendan Taylor. So we'll get updates as the this session goes on, so we can just pass on those scores. The frame is evenly poised at the moment, even though it's 32-19. Alex has played quite a reasonable shot on here. He's almost got a snooker on all balls. In any event, he's put the pressure on. If he can't wing those 2 balls down the bottom, then I suspect he's got a small issue. He's looking for that gap between, I think, in the middle between the blue and the green.
If he can't hit him, I'd suggest he come off the bottom right. Oh, he might be able to get to you, Rob. Yeah, good shot.
Played that very well, really. It's been a great shot and great weight. Now, this is Alex. Oh, if I know Alex plays, he can go down whack and this could just go in. That's the way he plays.
Let's go.
We've got part of it right. Certainly had a red-hot go at it.
This could be a little bit ugly here. Don't know how much the red he's got here. Could end up behind the yellow. Not quite. Ooh, bit unlucky there too.
And in the top left-hand corner, you see that impressive looking sign that LBC Consulting and Auditing, which is Rex Swain, who tomorrow will announce at the Tasmanian AGM sponsorship deal. So I won't let too many cats out of the bag, but welcome on board a few sponsors this year. New one in Colonial on Elizabeth, where all the players and officials are staying. So thanks to Carissa and all the crowd up there. Of course, the Launceston Workers Club, Northern Tas Billiards and Snooker, Italian pizza house with Heath Watson, and we ate up a storm last night.
Oh, great.
So we good quality food. Of course, we only had the pizzas, but they specialise in a number of things. And a load of cake from memory at 65 George Street in Launceston, so it's only a couple of blocks away. So I doubt a couple of us will wander around this afternoon and see what they've got on the menu.
Or for a bit of a late night feast tonight.
Yeah.
Great shot by Alex there. That's going to, with the balls open, he's pretty much his very good chance to kill this frame completely off.
Yeah. Played it pretty well. Giving themselves the opportunity to maybe come off the rail or just stun it back. Yep. Nice run through.
Slight bit of
red on
angle.
the rails, no gimme, but let's get through.
Ooh, a bit hard.
Yep.
No, that's all right.
From our camera angle, looks like there's a bit more of a gap than.
That was your crucial ball at that one.
Well, that was their frame ball. In many respects. Well, yeah, the frame ball. So still very much alive. Still a lot of work for Mark to do, but you have to say the colours are really, really well placed. He's got even given himself a rough chance from here.
He gets a good, yeah, his odds on here. If he can,
So he's played that pretty well, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a clearance here. As I said, I'm not a player of any ilk, but I'd give myself a 50-50 chance of getting the majority of these, and a player of his calibre on the rise. I suspect he's a slight favourite to snatch this frame, which always appeared to be Alex's. But we won't get ahead of ourselves.
you've played plenty of crowd pleasers in your time, Rob.
It's
Notable.
one way of describing it, Danny.
Actually, the Claremont RSL. It's Tim Wright, if I remember correctly.
Famous or infamous, depending on your take.
I ever remember you throwing a towel on the table there during one tournament.
I've done more than that in my time. I've even thrown myself on the table, I think, a few times.
Yes, I think he's positioning here now. He's near regulation lineup that he would have done hundreds of times.
Absolutely. I think Alex is feeling a little bit poorly. He rushed that red. I mean, yes, I was on the rail. It was not easy, but the tendency is if you're going to go for them, you probably hit them a bit harder so that they don't pop up.
Stretching.
Yeah,
Just lean over a little bit there. That's it.
Who would have thought? So this is Alex's black.
So close yet so far away. It would have been a good frame to pinch that one.
So Alex Pace of Tasmania has got up and won that frame, which for all intents and purposes looked like being stolen by Marc Fridman. He races out to a 2 frames to nil lead and best of 5 frames match. This is the first of their 2 battles that they'll have under this format. The juniors in particular and the women, they play each other twice. Meanwhile, if you're in the team, like Denny is, he'll have 2 matches, one coming up shortly and then one tonight. So you get 2 bites of the cherry as opposed to the old day. But you're watching the 45th Harry Andrews Atkins Shield being played at the Launceston Workers Club. And the live stream is provided by Q Sports Tasmania, who do a fantastic job, and of course Andrew Salty, legend of the game, has been doing all the live streaming around Tassie. Can't thank them enough for what they've done for Q Sports in Tasmania. And of course on the screen you can probably see the two legends themselves. On the left hand side, Harry Andrews from Victoria, Ron Atkins, who was in attendance here last night and had a few words to the crowd. So we've just resumed in the third frame, best of 5 frames match. Adrian White, referee in charge of this frame. And Alex Pace from Tasmania leads 2 frames to 0. Quite a industrious break. I'm not sure what another word could be for that by Alex. Just repeating the results of the matches played last night. Anna Lynch from Victoria got over the top of Sue Martin in the first of the women's matches, 3 frames to 1. In a classic, Daryl Tippett prevailed 3 frames to 2 on a re-spotted black ball. Paul Thomason from Victoria was a little bit too strong for Tasmanian captain Bobby Boucher, and former Tasmanian Rod Dunham, and of course father of Kurt on the main tour in England at the moment, and as I understand played overnight in the 1 frame shootout contests they're playing. Rod defeated Luke Webb 3 frames to 1. Meanwhile in the billiards, seasoned campaigner and one of Australia's top billiard players in Jason Colebrook defeated Grenville Brown from Tassie. Graham Pickett from Tasmania, former Tasmanian billiards champion, prevailed over David Cosgrove. And in a cliffhanger, Steve Cowie defeated Victorian President Ron Cole by 3 points, pretty much on the bell. So some close matches, but Victoria prevailed in the 7 matches played last night, 5-2. And of course this is the first of the morning session. We play 11 matches this morning and this afternoon. We'll live stream 3 of the matches, and you're watching 1 in progress at the moment, and then tonight we'll finish off with 7 matches. We will also live stream a couple of those as well. Denny Main is up on the next match. He'll be playing one of Australia's best players in Charlie Chafe. He's got a tall mountain to climb, but Denny's style of game lends it to making his opponent work for every shot. So he's obviously he's looking forward to playing Charlie.
Sure am.
In the echelon of the elite.
I've just went and had a quick run through on the tables going there. Looks like Jared Weeks is 2-0 down to Brendan Taylor. Jason Colebrook won his match in the billiards, and they're still poised at 1-0 up with Sue Martin in the on the colours, I believe, in the ladies' match at the moment.
Yep. And later in commentary, I'll be joined by Ian Dale, who'll also be refereeing as well. But Ian is obviously on the Australian Billiards and Snooker Council, so he's multitasking this weekend. Generally, he'd be playing in this team. He's been a perennial player in the billiards, particularly over a lot of years. Always found it in off there.
Speaking of billiards.
Yeah.
Be good to drag a couple of the Victorians up and see what sort of, I would say, stories or tall stories that they would have about Harry or Ron over the years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or they may be ones that we need to leave till maybe after hours. Great shot there by Alex. I'm not quite sure whether he's... Oh, another great shot there.
Just had a quick cheerio from brother Les, who originally was in this team but had to withdraw. He's having shoulder issues, and some talk about him actually not probably picking up the cue, certainly this year, which is a great shame. He attended a wake in Hobart last night, which I would have liked to have been at as well, for one of our former Tassie great players in Barry Milburn. Of course, his son Brendan Milburn, no stranger to these matches, having played many times in the Andrews-Atkins Shield over the years. So our sympathies obviously on behalf of the Tasmanian Billiards and Snooker and 8 Ball, or Q Sports family really, on the sad loss of Barry, or Beaky, as he was fondly known, Bazza. Unexpected passing. He was a board member of the Southern Association for a long period of time and delegate on the Tassie Council. So, been sad times. We've lost a couple this year in Wayne, Spooky Stokes, and yeah, we're all getting a little bit older, but when it comes along, you don't expect it, obviously, and sad time for everybody around. Well, I didn't think that was missable.
No, I mean, he hit that millimetre perfect to make sure both them balls come out.
Exactly, yeah. Just in case you've joined the telecast, it's Rob Higgins and Denny Main, who's up next against Charlie Chafe. Denny, of course, one of Tasmania's top snooker players. The snooker matches over the best of 5 frames. The billiards are over 1 hour. 3 billiard players in each team, so they actually play each other. Meanwhile, the snooker players have 2 opponents, so Denny happens to be listed at number 2 in this team, so he'll play the 1 and 2s from the Victoria. And he's got, as I said, pretty tall assignment with 2 of the best players in the country.
Very tall.
And guys that are knocking in the high 130s and all that sort of thing in the break. So, but I know Denny's looking forward to getting on the table, and this table that you're watching now at the moment.
It's funny, I've never actually played on this table in all the years we've come here. I've never had a game on this table, so this will be just funny, actually. So hopefully it'll be kind to me. Alex was right amongst the balls there and just got into that red a little too much. We didn't quite see from that angle, but this again opens the opportunity up to Mark.
It's funny, the first couple of frames, Alex has made all the running on the scoreboard and dashed out with those things, and then Mark's kind of reeled him in, and in the last, I think Denny and I were both surprised that he didn't clear the table. He did all the hard work, and he missed a relatively easy pink to make this 1-all.
That's probably still haunting him a little bit there, that pink, I'd say.
Yeah, he played that stroke exactly like that.
But demeanour there, he's still probably going to forget about that. There's nothing he can do.
That's the thing. Alex overhit that, it's got out of it by my angle. Looks awkward. Might be able to sneak out for a bit of safety. Oh, well, there you go. A long shot tells us something a bit different. But this is
Ferro reflection there off the cue ball.
Yeah. But this is not, as you can see on the stream, the next match, which will be coming up shortly once this match is concluded between Alex and Mark. Denny and I are actually watching this match on a large TV well down in the room, but it's in real time. And of course, this is brought to you by Q Sports TAS. Do a great job, and in particular, Andrew Salty, doing all the setting up last night. We didn't live stream any matches last night, but we're doing several today, and hopefully we'll get a few viewers online. I know some of the 8-ball guys are driving through, or in fact they will have driven through. They're up at Longford at the moment playing an annual match where Southern Tasmania play the northern region in a number of things, in the Masters and all that kind of thing. So cheerio to Phil Dando and Tony Cannon and the like. And good luck to those guys, and some of them may actually drift in and watch the tail end of some of these Andrews-Atkins matches for the head back to Hobart.
A little bit hard there on that one. Oh, he's got away with it.
Done it again.
Rob's fighting with the microphone again. Alex will, great try from
so I'm back online after dropping my headpiece again, which is quite heavy and has dragged about 10 hairs out of my head. As you get a bit older, you treasure them and try and hang on to them.
You got that right.
So if anybody's online and can just send us a quick text message to let us know that we're coming through loud and clear, and hopefully we are. Salty's upgraded some of the gear, so we've got some wireless headsets and got all sorts of gear and crystal clear picture, I believe, or certainly on the large TV that we're watching on.
Hopefully, as this moves on with technology and that, Rob, we can have a couch, maybe a footrest.
Yeah.
Probably maybe some bar staff, and we could really upgrade it to a bit more of a luxurious feel for us.
Yeah, exactly. At the moment, Denny and I are standing and pacing backwards and forwards. Mind you, we can go and sit, which we're toying with the idea. But and if you're watching, this is the 45th Victoria versus Tassie Billiards and Snooker match, the Harry Andrews-Atkins Shield. Victoria the holders of the Shield with an impressive 38-6 lead over Tassie. And in the early going, they're leading 5 matches to 2 after last night's 7-match session. Bearing in mind that this tournament's based on a new format of a scoring system of points. As all the billiard players play each other, all of their matches are worth 2 points. Meanwhile, the snooker players with a double opponent, they're worth 3 points. So if Alex wins this particular match against Mark, it'll be worth 3 points to the Tassie team and the cause. So we played that pretty well. Mind you, having said that, from our angle, we've got the low shot which you've got at home, and the red clearly looks like it's on.
I'd say that'll go underneath there, Rob. So, and as we can tell from our camera angle, there's a plant into the middle or the corner pocket, more likely the middle from our angle, but.
Yep.
Alex will be having a close look at that, as we can tell.
Yep. Just had a cheerio from Brother Les, and as I mentioned before, he and Tracy Barlis were originally coming through for the particular event. In fact, Les was slated to play in this tournament, but having some shoulder issues, and in fact might be taking a year off from the game, so let's hope not. He's been one of our great competitors for many, many years, and of course perennial champion both snooker and billiards. And obviously missed this weekend. The Victorian guys have had a great time, and many have been asking after him. Generally speaking, a lot of festivities off the table, which is the big part of the weekend, Danny, as you know.
Yes, sure is.
Victoria flew in on Thursday, and they had a great time by all accounts on the Thursday night, and sure didn't miss it last night either. So we left the venue close to midnight, and but yeah, it was a great time, and it was great to see Ron Atkins and Leanne here last night, and Ron made a really, really nice speech at the gathering of the throng, and it's just a pity that Harry couldn't be here, Harry Andrews, obviously the co-joint names listed on the shield. Meanwhile, back to the action.
Shouldn't be too bad. He's hampered slightly, but should be able to produce a good angle for. He's got options in the red in the middle, where he'll pop up for the on the downward side of the red balls there.
Yeah.
I may go low.
This
shot.
This pattern's emerging again, Danny. In the first 2 frames, Alex made all the running, dashed out with the big leads. Mark's reeled him in, and of course in the last frame we expected the clearance that didn't happen. Mark missed. I reckon if he'd had the shot 20 times he would have got it 19, and unfortunately missed it, and Alex pitched the frame, which, having said that, was always his, but then when Mark got in for the clearance we expected it to be 1-all, so he's looking at a distinct possibility here. It's just a matter of controlling this. Could have probably done without that little kiss, because the white would have come out a bit further, but looks to have a shot on, from our low angle, either the middle or the one going down the table, I'm not sure. So we'll get back to the overhead shot so we can have a quick look. Which he's doing at the moment, I think. Always
Hold.
give a person a rap and they...
Commentator's curse there, Rob.
Yeah,
Good on you. That's right.
absolutely.
Keep that up.
And just in case you're wondering, the next matchup is Denny, the co-commentator, Denny Main, going in against Charlie Chafe. Denny's got two tough matches here this weekend. He plays two of Australia's top players in Ryan Thomason and Charlie. Ryan actually flew back, staying with Neil Robinson in England, and came back, which was said in the speech. He wanted to play in the Andrews-Atkins Shield, so this particular tournament is held in high regard in its 45th year. One of the oldest continuous team or Q Sports teams event in Australia. Second only to the ANI Railway Tournament, which is in its 51st year, stand to be corrected. In fact, the Clement RSL was lucky enough to host them last year in March when they came to Tassie. So, and the Victorians have a way over time when they come to Tassie. They come a day earlier. Competition and the formal proceedings don't actually start until the Friday night, but they make a trip of it and come over on Thursday and play golf and go to restaurants and probably have way too many drinks.
They don't go thirsty, Rob.
No, not at all.
Must be out.
Just updating the results of last night's matches. I might just stay with the commentary here before I do that.
Not too bad.
I'll let Denny to take you through what he thinks the scenario might be here.
Yeah, we half ball through. He'll play straight through it, back up for the great shot there. He'll run straight through for the black. The yellows, the open. He could just about kill this one off here. On that note, I might depart just in case. As I say, he's going to clean the table up. That'll be my call. We'll see whether I can commentate his cursing. I'll see you later on.
All right, Denny. That's been great, and good luck in your match. And obviously, barracking or rooting pretty hard for Tassie, whatever the terminology is. So.
We'll stick with the rooting, Rob. Thanks, mate. See you.
So while Denny's gone away to get changed. Let's get Terry. Just updating on last night's matches. Anna Lynch prevailed over Sue Martin, the Tassie Women's Champion, 3 frames to 1. In a cliffhanger, Daryl Tippett from Victoria got over the top of Phil Woodham, 3-2 as a respotted black. Daryl knocked in a nice break of 51 in that as well. Paul Thomason sparkling display against Tassie captain Bobby Boucher, 3-0. Meanwhile, in a closest match, Rod Dunham prevailed, a former Tasmanian, and Rod Dunham prevailed 3 frames to 1 over Luke Webb. In the billiards, one of Australia's seasoned and top billiard players in Jason Colebrook was too strong for Grenville Brown from Tasmania. Graham Pickett, former Tassie billiards champion, grabbed one back for Tassie, defeating David Cosgriff. And Steve Cowie in a cliffhanger defeated Ron Cole by 3 points virtually on the bell. Steve looked to have it under control with about 6 minutes to go when he was about 30 in front, but Ron closed the gap. And realistically, it could have gone either way in the finish. So, of the 7 matches, Victoria managed to bag 5 of them to Tasmania's 2. And currently in action on the other 3 tables, Jared Wicks is 2-0 down to Brendan Taylor. Jason Colebrook won his billiards match against Steve Cowie. Anna Lynch looks like going out to a 2-0 lead over Sue Martin in the second of the women's matches. And you're watching on the live stream table the first of the junior matches between Alex Pace, the reigning Australian junior champion, going up against rising star Marc Fridman. Best of 5 frames match. Alex enjoys a 2 frames to 0 lead. Is in the box seat here, certainly mathematically in this frame, and to take the match 3-0. And of course last night we had Ron Atkins and his wife Leanne was here for the presentations. It was great to see Ron, and he made a speech and had a bit of reminisce over some old times. And of course we observed a minute's silence for Barry, the Beak. Beaky Milburn. Wake was held at the Harbour Workers Club last night. Barry, former board member, committee member and a delegate to the Tassie Council, passed away sadly on Wednesday this week. And of course their thoughts and heartfelt sympathies go out to the Milburn family and Marion and Brendan, son Brendan, who was a player in this team many times. Just a sad occasion for the Q Sports family and fraternity. We've lost a couple of valuable members over the last 6 to 8 months. Wayne Spooky Stokes, known to many, particularly Wayne a regular in this particular match, the Andrews-Atkins Shield. So yeah, sad times. Great pot by Alex, and so Tassie chalks up another one. And the reigning Australian under-18 snooker champion Alex Pace from Tasmania has prevailed 3 frames to 0 over Victoria's Marc Fridman, remembering of course that the juniors played 2 matches, so we'll see both those players live in action later tonight in the live stream. I'm looking in the background, I notice our patron in Dave Higgins has just arrived at the venue. And we'll see Dave in action later, as I should say, and he'll join me in commentary, and he's also having a bit of a referee stint. This matches are brought to you by Q Sports Tasmania and of course Andrew Saltmarsh and all the tremendous work that he does. Live streaming, we just hope that there's a few people online watching us. So what I might do is I might just sign off for a minute or so I can go and get a glass of water, and I'll come back to you shortly. And I'll have a few other guest commentators online to help me as we get through this live streaming session. So I hope you're enjoying the telecast. Pictures are crystal clear. I know that because I'm watching on a large TV. Meanwhile, the action is way up in the distance. And yeah, I'll be back to you shortly.